Brace yourself. Get it passed up anytime now. Collect yourself. Does it ever be the same in that sad world? Walk around the light a bit, trying to make the pieces fit to a puzzle with a million missing pieces. When I'm feeling fine is when I discover that I'm afraid to blow my cover, and there's something very wrong with this. So sit back in your hole.
Hello, I'm Mr. Childers, and I'm happy to welcome you to the course Career Development with Southeastern University, taught right here on campus at Four Corners Upper School. This video is especially designed for people who are part of our class but are not able to be with us on the first day of the semester, whether it's simply due to absence or due to having transferred into the course a little bit after the semester began. If that's not you, if you're part of our class but are going to be with us here on the first day, or future tense, were here with us, past tense, were here with us on the first day, then while you're welcome to stick around and get a sneak preview of what's to come, you're under no obligation to watch this video. We all sort of find ourselves somewhere in this image between birth on one side and death on the other. This voyage from womb to tomb, if you will. I'm a poet and I don't even know that I am. This voyage from womb to tomb. And on this voyage, wherever we find ourselves, on average, we will spend 90,000 of our hours from womb to tomb at work. The jobs we do, the careers we develop, will eat up a substantial portion of our time on this earth. So figuring out what the best careers for us may be and what we need to do to get ourselves into those careers and then to be successful within those careers, it's one of the most important things we can direct our attention to in this life. Because if you hate your job and you spend 90,000 hours of your life at your job, you kinda, maybe not all the way, but you kinda hate your life. And that's a pretty good, hating one's own life is a pretty good definition of having failed. So this course is very practical, and it's some very vital things to flourishing, to having a rewarding and meaningful life. According to the Pew Research Center, overall, about 51% of people consider themselves, about 51% of employed adults consider themselves extremely or very satisfied with their career. If you look on the screen, you can see then how this breaks down into particular elements of their career. Only about 34% are happy with their pay or their opportunities for promotion. About half are happy with their benefits. More than 2/3 are happy with the relationships with their coworkers, and just over half are happy with their career overall. Okay, wonderful. But 51%, that's most, but that's just barely most. So you're looking at 49% of the people, almost half of the people, are not especially satisfied with the careers at which they spend 90,000 hours of their lives. So this course is designed to help get you into this 51% and keep you out of that 49% who are not happy with their careers. Pew Research also finds that about 4 in 10 workers see their job as central to their identity. When we say central to their identity, that means that if I ask you, who are you? Tell me about yourself. Is your career the first thing or one of the first things that come to your mind? Most of my students are either not yet working or doing the kinds of jobs that they don't consider careers yet, because my students are still are simultaneously finishing high school and beginning college. Uh, It's not it's not required for happiness that your career be the central aspect of your identity. But I will say that having a career that is central to your identity, or is one of the central elements of your identity, or at very least does not run contrary to your identity and your sense of who you are, is an important part of happiness in life. um, and that's going to look different for different people. Here you've got two people who have the same career as I have. And you can see that one of these people is very happy with her career, and another person is very unhappy with the same career. This is not one size fits all. Discerning for yourself what your vocation, your calling, your primary focus of your energy in this life is going to be is not an exact science. It's going to look different for different people. Um, as as this fella demonstrates, not every job is designed for every person. So part of what we're doing in this course is helping you to figure out what jobs are and what jobs are not ideally designed for you, and then what you have to do to find and be successful in those jobs. If you had met me just a few months before I began teaching at Four Corners, let me show you what my previous job was. If you had met me just a few months before working at Four Corners, this is where I worked. This is Casey's General Store. We don't really have them here in Florida, but they are what they look like. It's a chain of gas stations, especially prominent in the Midwest of the United States. I worked at the Casey's General Store in Wilmington, Illinois. I was 37 years old. I had a master's degree, and I was either cooking pizzas in the kitchen of this gas station or showing up at work at 1 o'clock in the morning to make donuts at this gas station. Why do I say that? Why do I bring that up? I bring that up because as we talk about what careers are ideal and less than ideal for everybody, I want to avoid any sense of judgment and elitism. Life is not cookie cutter where everybody has to follow the same path. When you see somebody who has a job like I had at this gas station, I want to resist the temptation to say that this job is somehow lower, or that especially that this job, the person doing this job, is somehow lower, less valuable, less worthy. I had this job for a particular reason. It's because at that particular phase in my life, it was a transitional phase. I was transitioning out of the pursuit of one career and was not yet able to begin the second career, but I had a pathway in mind. Everybody has the job, the career they have for a particular reason. We should avoid looking down on other people because their jobs are not as glamorous or not as high paying. At the same time, I think it is safe to say that there are certain families of careers that most of us who are involved in this class would not find satisfying in the long term. This is a photo I took several years ago. This is the urinal in the men's room at a truck stop. And there in the urinal, the men's room, there's the I don't know, the scented pad or whatever that's there to keep it fresh. And in this particular truck stop, the specials the sales is a Love's Truck Stop. Welcome to Love's. And the Pepsi and Mountain Dew are on sale, 2 for $3. And so the specials are written right there on the urinal pad so that customers who are I believe the technical term is draining the main vein, are able to see the specials, and then, oh yeah, I could use some Pepsi and Mountain Dew to replenish the liquids that I am emptying out right now. What was my point? Is somebody's job is to write the specials on the filthy urinal pad, in the filthy urinal, in the filthy truck stop men's room. And so while I am not trying to foster any sense of elitism or judgment regarding certain careers being higher or lower, I myself have had a number of jobs that are not glamorous. I'm going to operate under the presumption that no one in this room dreams of their career being the person who writes the specials on the urinal pad in the filthy truck stop restroom. So, what do we have to do to ensure that we are not, in the long term, the person who does this? That's the short version of what this class is all about. So welcome. I'm glad you're on board. So this course is a college course. It's not a practice college course. It's not designed to give you a taste of what college is all about. It is straight up a college course. You're taking this course for Southeastern University, especially if it is the first semester. Many of you, this may be your very first college course. Other of you are have taken advantage of some of the other college offerings that we have here at Four Corners. So I want to talk a little bit about what it means to take college courses, especially to take college courses as a high school student. So this is a Southeastern University course. Southeastern University was founded in 1935. Our main campus is in Lakeland, Florida, up the road. Southeastern offers 55 bachelor's degrees, 16 master's degrees, and 2 doctorates. The school is affiliated with the Assemblies of God, an evangelical Protestant Christian denomination. That's nothing unusual. Many universities are religiously affiliated, including the oldest universities in Western civilization, such as Oxford and Cambridge, were all religious universities, at least to begin with. The school is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. In addition to its main campus in Lakeland, the Southeastern has 50 extension sites in 29 states, of which Four Corners Upper School is one. Southeastern University's courses are one of many ways that Four Corners Upper School students can earn college credits while they are in high school. This is a dual enrollment course, which means that the college courses are taught right here on campus. I teach this course in my role as an adjunct professor of Southeastern University. Four Corners students can take other Southeastern University courses in that fashion, including my ethics course, as well as college success and music appreciation with Ms. Palakis and others. We also offer courses from Embry-Riddle University here on campus, taught in person, as well as a number of online dual enrollment options through Valencia and other universities. So especially if this is your first college course with us, please talk to your guidance counselor or to me or to your other dual enrollment professors to explore what other options you have. This course will earn you 1 high school credit, honors level, plus 3 college credits, and 6 college credits if it is paired with a college success course. A typical bachelor's degree requires 120 credits to complete. There'll be a little bit of wiggle room one direction or the other from school to school and from state to state, but only a little bit of wiggle room because it is important that a bachelor's degree from one university means basically the same thing as a bachelor's degree from all the other universities. That's one of the things overseen by accrediting bodies. So you can expect, regardless of where you complete your college education, that it will require around 120 college credits. The cost of a college education varies greatly from school to school. And the only thing schools have in common when it comes to cost is that it is never cheap. If you were to go to Valencia after graduation, you would find that as of 2023, a course at Valencia costs $112 per credit. And most courses are 3 credits. So that's not 112 per class, it's 112 per credit. So if you go to Valencia, you need to think every class you take is $112 times 3, plus the cost of books, plus the cost of housing and room and board and everything if you're not living at home. UCF, University of Central Florida, college credit is $212, so $100 more expensive than Valencia per credit, times 3 per course, plus books, plus room and board, and housing. University of Southern Florida, $574 per credit. If you were to go to my alma mater, I went to Conception Seminary College. I'd be very surprised if any of you go there. But if you do, you could expect in 2023 to pay $832 per credit for your education. Southeastern University. In a sense, you are going to Southeastern University because this is a Southeastern University course. But if instead of taking it right here at Four Corners, you were taking it up the road in Lakeland, you would be paying $1,268 per credit. So this class would be $1,268 times 3, plus the cost of books, room, board. If you were to go to Harvard, $1,641 per credit. However, by participating in our dual enrollment program here at Four Corners Upper School, and this also applies to ACE Cambridge courses, should you pass their exams, by participating in our college program here on campus, you are earning the same credit from the same school, transferable to any university in the United States of America, at the low, low cost of no dollars. You can see by doing just this very simple math in your head that no dollars is far fewer dollars than 1,268 times 3. It's even far fewer dollars than $112 times 3. That's why our ever expanding college program here at Four Corners Upper School is the program that I am most excited about at our school, most excited to be part of, most excited to support. At this point right now, and I'm recording this August 9th of 2024, a hardworking student can quite easily complete a third of his or her college education right here at Four Corners by the time he or she graduates high school. That is a savings of years of your time and thousands of dollars. In May of 2024, we had one graduate of the class of 2024 who completed her associate's degree, who completed half of her college education right here with us on campus at Four Corners for no cost. Now, there's a reason there was only one. As of right now, that's not yet particularly easy to do, to complete half. If you're a sophomore or junior, by the time you're a senior, it may be much more common to complete half. But to complete a third of your college education with us is very, very doable. So I'm glad that you have this opportunity. I wish I had had it, and I am thrilled to be able to guide you on your journey as you begin your college education here with us at Four Corners Upper School. So let me tell you, since you're stuck with me for the semester, I'll tell you a bit about who I am, how I operate, and then we'll talk about this course and its course requirements. So what am I all about? All I want to do with you for the rest of our time together today is introduce myself, let you know who you'll be working with, and then on the second day of class, we'll talk about the particulars of this course. So my name's Jeff Childers. I'm 44 years old, at least as of recording this video. Knowing how lazy I am, I'll probably reuse this video over and over again. But as of August 9th, 2024, I'm 44 years old. I'm from Joliet, Illinois. I graduated from Minooka Community High School in Illinois in 1997. I hold a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy from Conception Seminary College in Missouri, and a Master of Arts degree in theology from St. Meinrad Seminary in 2017. I've been teaching at Four Corners Upper School since 2018. I came in here just before Christmas of 2018. And since joining Four Corners, I've taught geography, world history, US government, humanities, classical studies, ethics, world literature, and career planning. And I'm an adjunct professor of theology for Southeastern University and have been for about a year since August of 2023. I'll tell you a bit about my core values in education. This is something I'm adapted from the way I received my education, not so much my high school, but my college and graduate schools. But both my college and grad school were on the campuses of Benedictine monasteries. And so we're part of an educational tradition that stretches back into the tail end of the Roman era and the beginnings of the Middle Ages, and are governed by some really well thought out philosophical educational principles that have been continued to be developed by Rome. And I like to speak of education being something that has three pillars. In my schools, we spoke of four pillars, but in this adapted version, we'll speak of three pillars. For me, the three pillars of formation. I love that word. Think of how a potter forms clay into a vessel. That's what we're doing here in a school. We're not just here to check some requirements off of a box. We're not just here to be yapped at and to memorize some data and to pass some tests and to provide some data to some administrator. We are here working together in this community in the process of forming one another into the people that we are growing to be, so that we all might flourish together as human persons, achieving the full potential of our dignity and happiness. In this method, the three main pillars of this formation are human formation, academic formation, and vocational formation. Human formation is about what I just described. It's about assisting one another to become the ideal, the most virtuous, the best versions of themselves. It's not so much about being a good student or learning how to be a good engineer or a good lawyer, a good doctor, a good nail tech. It's about learning to be good, to be formed and to grow and to thrive as the best humans possible. The second pillar is academic formation. That's the intellectual angle. That is the development of knowledge. Knowledge for its own sake. Knowledge is one of those things that we call intrinsically good. We don't simply pursue knowledge in order that we may get something else, though we will. The more knowledge you get, the more happiness you'll have, the more money you'll make, all that. That's not why we pursue it. We pursue it because it is good. That's the second pillar of formation, academic formation. And then the third we'll call vocational. The third is that not intrinsic good, but instrumental good. What is good because it gets you something else. So this is the pillar where we look forward to what you want to do and where you want to be in the future, to be prepared for college and to be prepared for a successful career. That is a very important component of education. Many voices, well-intended, but I wholeheartedly believe wrong voices, will present that as the most important thing in education, to prepare you for college, to prepare you to make money, to be part of the money-making machine. I say no, that's important, but it's secondary. I believe in you may not hear it, but in education, in the education profession, we hear very often the buzzword data-driven education. Right? It's all about getting you to meet certain benchmarks, to check certain accomplishments off the list. It's not cynical; it's very well intentioned, but it's also just it's not where I'm coming from. I'm not driven by data. I'm not driven by test scores. I'm driven by persons, by people. I'm driven by building a community of dignified young men and young women and empowering them to discover their own voices, to learn how best to thrive in this world as the builders of the future families of this world that will keep our civilization growing. So I am driven by your good, not by your grades. Another of my core values is your right to safety. And here I'm not using the language of, we don't need to get into all the controversies. I'm not using the language of safe space where you have the right to be protected from any ideas you don't already agree with or any information you don't already know. That is childish and harmful. But I am, of course, committed to your actual safety, your physical well-being, and your emotional well-being. You will be emotionally challenged. You will encounter perspectives other than your own. You will encounter things that make you uncomfortable, and I think that's good. But you will not be harassed. You will not be mistreated. You will not be spoken to as if you were anything other than a unique individual of inestimable dignity and value while you're in this room. And if that happens to you in any other room in this building, I will be among the first to advocate on your behalf. That said, I believe you've got the right to be uncomfortable. Okay? We cannot grow. We cannot grow if we are exposed only to the ideas that we already agree with and only to people who see the world the same way we do. If that were the case, I would just stay home and talk to myself in the mirror all day. How dreadfully dull a world would that be? We often hear that diversity is our strength, and I believe that is one of our key strengths in this community. We have people with origins from all over the world, bringing perspectives from all over the world to us, and I love that. Diversity of thought is also our strength. And so, yes, you have not only the obligation, but the right to occasionally be made uncomfortable by the ideas that you encounter in a classroom. One of the things you'll hear me talk about, or you'll hear me say a lot, are these words: ask me after you graduate. Because it is so important to me that my students encounter a multitude of perspectives, different ways of looking from the world from different historical perspectives, religious perspectives, political perspectives, philosophical perspectives. I'm extra careful about making sure that almost none of those perspectives are advertised as mine. My courses are about giving you space and giving you tools to empower you to build and craft your own well-reasoned worldview, and a well-reasoned worldview that is devoted to the common good. It is not my place to seek to influence you with my own opinions, my own ideas. It doesn't mean you'll never get my opinion on anything. It does mean that when, in those rare cases where I do give my opinion on something that's controversial, I will always make every effort to give you this flashing red light warning. This is just my opinion, and you're not required to share my opinion. But most of the time, when it comes to controversial issues, when it comes to identity issues, political things, religious things, God, Donald Trump, legalize weed, my answer is going to be, ask me after you graduate. No teacher in a public school setting is allowed to force political or religious or philosophical views on any student. Because of the kinds of ideas we talk about in my class, I hold myself to a stricter standard on that. Right. Which means if you have another teacher who happens to mention he or she goes to church at this certain place or something like that, it doesn't mean that that teacher is violating any code of ethics, provided they're not treating you any differently if you don't share their perspective. But I prefer to keep all of that stuff outside of the classroom when it comes to my own perspective. So if you want, I've had students who've kept a running list and will interview me at the end of their senior year, and then they will get my whole life story and what I actually think about everything. But until then, remember these words: ask me after you graduate. Really already hit this one. I believe that college and career prep are secondary to human formation and to the passionate pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, but nevertheless are crucially important. And so I do take do make great effort to see to it that my courses are designed in a way that do adequately help prepare you for college and for careers, although that is not my main focus. Couple of the things that I'm really passionate about, and I try to do in all of my courses. My academic background is in philosophy. Philosophy, the love of wisdom. The philosophy is a love of wisdom that inspires us to seek rational answers to big questions so that we might live and die well. So I'm really passionate about integrating philosophy and the history of ideas, the exploration of where these philosophical, religious, political, cultural ideas and cultural memes come from, and then integrating that into the high school curriculum. And some schools, you'll never talk about philosophy until you get to college. I think that is a shame. And sometimes that the notion of integration, the fact that reality is a unified whole, a diverse whole, but a unified whole. And that what you do, I'm using whole with a W, whole as in the entire, that what you do on the other side of the school in the biology class, and then in the algebra class, and then down in the gym, and then up here in the humanities course, that they're not these separate, disconnected things with no relationship to each other, that they are deeply interwoven and integrated and go on to make up a single whole reality. That's an important thing to recognize, because without it, it seems like education just becomes a list of disconnected things that nobody gives about, and it just has to be checked off a box. And my goodness, I was also in high school too. So I know you won't always want to be in this room, but while you're in this room, your time's not going to be wasted. I don't want to waste an hour of your time without trying to build some sense of integration of the different subjects we explore. Not only is there a danger of wasting an hour of your time, there's a danger of wasting 12 years of your time, the 12 years of your time designed to help prepare you for life. And if you enter life unprepared, well, then now you're in danger of wasting all of your life. And last time I checked, we're only promised the one of those. Last thing for today. I'm very big on what I call the critical reappropriation. There's all these big words. What is this, school, man? Why you got to use big words? We're coming to learn stuff. Critical reappropriation of traditional themes, values, stories, and images. So most of my head time is spent in the past, in either in history or in the ideas and the stories that were told by our ancestors and our forebears centuries and even millennia ago. And I value the past greatly. That is not to say that I think we should go back in time to the past. I think that right now, today, this minute, the year 2024 is absolutely the best time to ever have been alive for almost every man, woman, and child on earth by almost every meaningful metric. At the same time, we only got to where we are by building on the thoughts, on the dreams, on the stories, on the hopes, on the traditions, rituals, beliefs of the people that came before us. And I think there's a tendency sometimes in our culture that to think that, ooh, once we moved on to something new, that we can discard everything that came before us as if somehow our ancestors were stupid. There are things we know that they didn't know, of course, but we only know them because they built the structures that we've inherited that have allowed us to learn these things. So I like to sort of hit the brakes on this turning away from tradition and turning away from the past, and instead look back at what has come before us and say, what of this remains of enduring value? And are there perhaps, I won't often answer the question for you, but I will pose the question to you. Are there elements of our traditions and the traditions of our ancestors and the beliefs of the people that beliefs and values of the people that came before us, the way they viewed family, the way they viewed purpose and meaning in life? Are there elements of that that we have turned away from that perhaps we could benefit from returning to? It will almost never be my place to propose answers to those questions for you. But I do feel it's an important part of my role as someone guiding you in your formation to raise those questions for you. So let's talk a few of the particulars of this course, and then that'll be it for today. First up, especially if this is your first college course, maybe you didn't realize you were enrolling in a college course when you selected this course. Maybe you didn't select this course and you just find yourself thrust into it. Maybe you're not sure if you are going to go to college, if you're ready for college work. Let me put your mind at ease. This is a college course, but it's not a difficult course. I've intentionally designed this course. Let's say it's a blow-off course. There are many things that need to be done, but this is not a course where the work is designed to be particularly challenging. It's a course where the work is designed to be practical and useful because everybody needs and deserves a meaningful, fruitful, vibrant career. All right, so this course is not just designed for those students who are going to get PhDs in engineering from Oxford. It's designed for everybody. The "Here comes everybody" is the motto of this class. The course is often paired in the opposite semester with the College Success course with Ms. Palakis. I also recommend that absolutely everybody should take the College Success course, even those who are not planning to go to college or not sure if they want to go to college. Take the College Success course so that you can have a feel for what it is you're deciding whether you are or aren't going to do. But everybody's going to have a career, I should hope. I mean, even the guy holding the sign in front of the gas station, I give him beer money, please, please, please. That's a career of sorts. And so this course is designed to be inclusive of everybody. But let's talk about what we are doing in this course, and because it's a college course, what unique responsibilities that does put on you. So few things you do need to be aware of. Because this is a Southeastern University course, the course is governed by the academic policies of Southeastern University. The key highlights to know is, one, it does mean that deadlines are real. If past experience continues, I hope it doesn't. For whatever reason, a third of my students who hear me saying that right now do not believe me. But it is true. Deadlines in this course are real. The work is not overwhelmingly difficult, but it is to be completed, and it is to be completed on time. Late work is accepted with a penalty for 7 days, after which it is not accepted. And so what that translates to is there's a 14% late penalty per day, bottoming out after 7 days when work is no longer accepted. Look, life happens. I'm not talking about emergency scenarios. You should not skip the wedding or funeral of loved ones, or refuse to go to the hospital and have a 2x4 removed from your skull because you're afraid to be late on an assignment. We're human beings first, teachers and students second. But busyness or poor planning are not emergencies, and deadlines in this course are real. Schoolwork outside of class is to be expected as the norm in any college course. This course I will provide you more in-class time to do the work than I do in any of my other courses, almost certainly more than you'll receive in any other course. However, you should be prepared to do some schoolwork outside of class. Cheating and plagiarism, including the use of artificial intelligence to compose work, will result in automatic failure of the course. I'm not strict on a lot of things, but I'm merciless on plagiarism. I always have been. And in these college courses, that translates to automatic failure of the course. A student who plagiarizes an assignment, who has ChatGPT do an assignment for him on day 3 of the course, will then sit in the back of a class that he has already failed for the rest of the semester. As a college course, if you have special accommodations due to an IEP or due to your ESOL status, those accommodations don't automatically apply. You will need to contact Southeastern University if you feel you're in need of accommodation. You'll need to contact them yourself. They will not speak to your parents on your behalf. They will not speak to me on your behalf. You will need to contact the university to request special accommodations. This course does not have quarter grades. This course only has the final semester grade. Power School, which we normally use in high school courses, you will not see your grades in Power School on an ongoing basis. Power School will only have your final semester grade for the course. Southeastern University uses its own online course management program called MyFire. If you don't have access to that yet, you will soon, and then we will look at that together. There is the grade book where you'll be able to track your progress, on an ongoing basis. But Power School will not feature grades for your assignments. It will not have a midterm grade, a progress report grade, or a first or third quarter grade. So your report cards will have blanks for this course for quarter grades and progress report grades. Nothing has gone wrong. That is exactly by design. Power School will only feature your final grade for the semester. This is something that is a much bigger issue in my ethics course for Southeastern University. It will not be much of an issue in this course, but it's something you need to be aware of. Southeastern University is affiliated with the Assemblies of God, an evangelical Protestant Christian denomination. While it will not occur frequently in this course materials assigned by the university may be written from an explicitly Christian perspective. At Four Corners, the course will be taught from a religiously neutral perspective. All religious beliefs, including the lack of religious belief, will be respected, but none will be endorsed. Christian perspectives will be treated as one group of perspectives among many. Biblical and other religious arguments will be explored for their historical and cultural significance. Again, this is much more of an issue in my ethics course than here, but we might as well hear it, but ultimately judged by their own rational merits. Students may challenge the positions of the textbooks and assign readings. Students are expected to understand the Christian positions of the authors, if and when that is applicable in this course, but are not expected to accept them. You are free but never required to speak of your own religious beliefs or lack of belief when that is relevant in the course. We will on occasion be videotaping the class lectures. And I'll tell you this, after the first couple of weeks, unlike my other courses, after the first couple of weeks, there are very few lectures in the course, but there are a few at the beginning, and they may be videotaped and shared on YouTube so that absent students can continue to participate in the course. So when videos feature students under the age of 18, they are unlisted on YouTube, which means a user needs the full link to access the course. They don't come up to the general public, to access the video. They don't come up to the general public just by doing a simple search on YouTube. That's for your privacy and protection. Some things to know about how I operate in a course. Your life, your story is your own. And those aspects of your life, especially if you're having challenges in your life, family challenges, economic challenges, mental health challenges, um, those are none of my business. That's not the same as me saying, I don't care. I do. But you're under no obligation to share the personal details of your life with me or with any of your teachers unless somebody is in danger of being hurt. You have every right to determine what, if any, of your personal story to share with me as a teacher. However, it follows from that if there is something going on in your life uh, from which you would benefit from me making special accommodation, something in your life is impacting your ability to perform in this class, and it would be beneficial for you if I were to give you some special consideration. I can only do that if I know what's going on. So you have to strike a balance, and only you can determine for yourself how best to strike that balance. In our in-class time together, especially when we are having a course lecture or class discussion and new material is being presented, there is an expectation that you will not be doing what these folks are doing. There are very few things that will sap the heart and soul out of a speaker than working hard to prepare a presentation and then having a conversation with people who have put their heads down or who are playing on their phones. Given that this is a college course, I mean that's intensely rude and disrespectful in a high school course. But in a high school course, everybody has the right to a high school education. So a certain amount of student nonsense is tolerated at the high school level that isn't tolerated at the college level. I don't mean to, I'm not somebody who likes to govern by threat, but you need to be aware that a college education is a privilege, not a right. And this is not the time to be, this is not nap time. Kindergarten was a long time ago. And so students putting their heads down during course lectures or discussions will simply be asked to leave and preferably to drop the class. Just the past couple of years, we have seen an explosion in artificial intelligence technology. I remember vividly the first time Chat GPT puked up nonsense was turned into me in one of my courses before I knew it existed. So I had a hard time figuring out what is this, because it wasn't traditional copy paste plagiarism. It's a growing technology. It's a technology that as educators, we're just beginning to try to see how to integrate into our courses. But one way it will not be integrated into our courses is as an easy way for you to have a robot do your homework for you. So I do ask that you familiarize yourself with my policy on artificial intelligence, which is as follows. The use of AI text generators such as ChatGPT to compose your work is strictly forbidden. If AI use is suspected, you may be required to explain your writing verbally. I consider AI composition plagiarism, and the result will always be a score of 0 that cannot be made up, a disciplinary referral in a high school course, or in this college course, automatic failure of the entire course. This will remain the rule unless I specifically tell you otherwise. I don't expect to do that, but if we dream up, oh, here's a fun experiment, do something in GPT, and that's the assignment. Obviously, that is different. I am having conversation with teachers around the country about ways to adapt this technology for the classroom. I've not had any resolution on that yet. The use of AI text generators to help you study or prepare for an assignment is neither suggested nor forbidden, as I don't yet know enough about it. You're not to generate AI text and reword it, but if you have found constructive uses for AI technology in the study or preparation phase, please tell me about it so that I can consider how to use this tool in the future. The use of AI paraphrasing programs to reword someone else's work and submit it as your own is strictly forbidden. The use of AI synonym generators or grammar, spelling, punctuation checkers is neither suggested nor forbidden, as long as you're using it on material which you yourself have written. However, be sure to check your work before submitting it. Though the technology is improving, it is still capable of producing nonsense. You are responsible for ensuring that your written work communicates ideas meaningfully. A very good rule to remember: never turn in a paper that has words or phrases that you don't understand. If you use such a program in your assignments, please include a note at the bottom of the work. As far as, using language in a paper that you don't understand, because that quickly raises the question, how did you write it? And why did you write it if you don't know what it means? And then it raises the question, why in the hell would I want to read something that nobody could be bothered to write? On a different note, the use of AI image generation, and now I've recently discovered and had fun with music generation for assigned projects or class presentations, when that's relevant and helpful to your project, is permitted. And you will see that I myself make use of those technologies. All right, these things popping up on your screen that I'm scrolling past real quick are because they are not for today. And so look, we've done all the, hey, don't do this, hey, don't do that, you better behave yourselves, or I'm cracking skulls. Fact is, I think this is going to be a fun class. I think we're going to get along great. I'm excited about it. This is a class that really does have something for everybody, and I look forward to working with you throughout the school year. Oh, wait, I didn't hit the button.
Walk around the ladder bit, trying to make the pieces fit to a puzzle with a million bits and pieces. When I'm feeling fine is when I discover that I'm afraid to blow my cover, and there's something very wrong with this. So sit back in your hole, or get back in your cave. If I'm going down, I'm taking someone with